One thing that you want to do so that you make sure that your cuticle area is nice and thin is to drop your bead of gel away from the cuticle area. It can be 2 millimeters away. It can be halfway point. Okay, for me, I like 2 millimeters away. And then from here, I'm just gonna frame the sidewalls and the free edge and to ensure there's color everywhere. Okay. Hey there and welcome back, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Paola of PaolaPonceNails.com, your source for all things premium soft gels and entrepreneurship in the nail industry. If this sounds like a niche you'd like to continue growing in, then at the end of this video, do consider subscribing to this channel and our weekly newsletter. Let's begin. All right, let's get into some tips and tricks of applying potted soft gel color. And if you're wondering what's the difference between color in a pot and color in a bottle, I'll tell you in a moment. So first I want to establish that you understand what this product is. In this channel, I focus on the use of premium soft gels like Japanese gel nail brands. And most of these systems are potted soft gel systems. So meaning that they are soak-off systems, not hard gel. Yes, you will most often see hard gel in pots, but not with these premium soft gel formulas. These are soft gel, okay? And these systems may also have bottled formulations in them, but they started as potted gels, and that is why we kind of use that as the core to identify the type of product or system that we are working with. So potted soft gel systems. I also abbreviate that as PSGs. So if you guys see like my courses or some blogs, you'll see me reference them as PSGs. Okay. So when a color is in a pot, it just means it has a little bit more thickness, but it doesn't apply thick. And you're gonna see today, there's gonna be some stretch, it's gonna be beautiful. Whereas with a bottled color, the formula is a little thinner. There's been a little bit more monomer added to it to allow it to dispense out of a bottle with ease, so that it's not super thick or gooey or clumpy coming out, right? The potted color allows you to use a brush and grab that product and thin it out on the natural nail. With the bottle, you want that formulation to already be somewhat thin so that it dispenses nicely and the technician is not working with like these loaded goopy brushes on the nail. When you're working pot and gel brush, you can modify that so that the product is not super goopy, and that's basically what we're going to get into today, because I think the biggest challenge is applying these thin, right? I think we think that, oh, these sort of apply like a builder color, so we have to apply them thick, and that is a no. They need to be applied thin, and the right brush allows you to just stretch it on to the nail like a thin latex. It's really pretty. I'm using color 226 by Kokoist watermelon jelly beans. This is from the jelly beans collection. Also, our Kokoist certification is about to kick off. That will be happening the last week of March. If you want to get in the details and sign up to the waitlist down below to get updates, that link would be in the description box below. Okay, that is a brand certification, and if you're wondering when is the time to take a brand certification, after you played with a few things, like just 2 or 3 brands, and you kind of want to take one more seriously and learn all you can about it so that you can maximize its use, that's when you decide to take a brand certification. I personally believe that every brand that you use, you should be able to train with and take a brand certification with, okay? I don't use anything I don't train in. You'll see it in my channels, my social media, whether it's here or on Instagram. If I haven't trained on it, I may just use like an accessory gel or a nail art gel, but it will not be part of my foundations lineup. All right, so here I have my favorite brushes for color. So yes, you can use any brush, round or flat, but personally, I like a round brush for everything except my potted top gel. For my potted top gel, I prefer a flat or a square. For everything else, I personally prefer a round brush. Why? It just allows me to, for me, easily frame those cuticle areas. Now I know you can use the corners of a flat brush to get in there into those into the sinuses of the nails and the sidewalls, but for me it's just easy to frame everything out with an oval brush so that I don't have any lifting. So with that being said, these are my favorite color gel brushes. If you've ever wondered, if you're curious, if you're still finding for your one, in the salon, Vetro Oval was my absolute favorite. After that, honestly, any of these other three are absolute game for me. It doesn't matter, whatever's near, I will reach for, okay? So that's Vetro Max. Vetro Max is specifically for like Vetro Max base, but it can also be used for colors. And then Lily Gel Oval Plus. Now Lily Gel is a sister brand to Leaf Gel, so you will find this also on the Zillaboo website, which is a distributor of Leaf Gel and Lily Gel products. And then the Kokoist Brown. I like Kokoist Brown if I have longer nails and I'm using a potted color. That's going to help me get there much faster because it's a little longer than the other ones. I will show you. The other ones are about the same length in the bristles. You see them? Okay, so you see how Kokoist Round is much longer in those bristles. Again, this has been my favorite and probably the only reason why this is maybe not like my absolute go-to right now is because I've kind of worn it down a little bit. So it's just not like the best brush right now for color, but if it was brand new, oh, I'm sure it would still be my go-to. Okay, here's the other one. So you see these are going to be a little bit smaller, and I'll just line them up in what's small to taller as far as those bristles are concerned. See, for me, I think this is the reason why I like the Vetro Oval, because it's just shorter, it's thinner, it just applies color with such precision, doesn't leave my color gel bulky on the nail, and I don't have to thin it out so much. So you can see there. The Max brush works similarly. It's a little bit longer, just a tiny bit longer in its bristles than Oval. The Lily Gel honestly is kind of like a mix between the two and just slightly wider. So if you like Oval by Vetro but wish the bristles you had more surface area, things were a little wider, then I would go with Lily Gel. And then this one here, Round, this one is going to pick up more color without soaking into the bristles though. That's what you want to avoid. And then this is going to be great for like medium to long nail lengths. So yeah, these are the lineups. This is what I would recommend for colors if you're into an oval brush. Again, for me, I only like a flat brush for my color application. For my top gel application, and that's something that I discuss in my certifications because yeah, I know a lot of people use this for base gel, especially like in Japan, but for me, I liked this. Almost guarantees that I'm gonna have a no lift nail. That's just what's been working for me all these years. Okay, so next up, after you've chosen your brush, I think for today's demo, since I don't think my Vetro Oval is at its max capacity, it looks really good. It looks like I conditioned it well, and I'm gonna go with like my second favorite, which is the Lily Oval Plus. The size of it is really, really nice. It's thin, it's a little bit wider. As soon as I tried it for color, I was like, ooh, this is what I'm looking for. This is in a color brush. And you will have different brushes for bases, top gels, and all of them. You're not crazy, I promise. You're probably like, am I being too much? No. The next thing in your color application that you want to focus on is pushing back the cuticle or the eponychium area so that you have good color pigmentation, and you're also close to the border as much as possible. Now, I just shaped my overlays a little bit because I had to build a couple extensions. I just came from one certification. That was the Leaf Gel certification. So I taught my students using my nails, and I want to now push back and cleanse. But if you were coming from your base coat layer, you could just move into color without removing the tacky layer, okay? That's not necessary. The only thing is that it is advised that if you're mixing brands, that you do remove the tacky layer, which is that layer of uncured gel on the overlay before you apply your color, just so that there's no incompatibility. Because once the gel nail is cured, now it's just a plastic nail essentially, and anything can go over a plastic nail. But if you have uncured gel on there, then now you really are mixing brands, and that may lead to lifting. May. You want to make sure that every little piece of everything is off of the nail, because your color will attract it and it will cause spillage into the skin. So just look for little areas of particles of dust or cuticle, and again, be a little bit obsessive. That's okay. This is the moment to be, and look for them. Is there anything in there that can cause or attract your gel and cause spillage? Because then it becomes really difficult to clean. And I mean any little bit on the nail plate. All right, want to make sure that those epinicium areas are pushed nice and round or square, whatever the natural nail is doing, so that you frame really nicely. All right, you see here this little bit of white right there. That makes me a little bit nervous as far as like spillage or runoff. So I want to come in here and scrape it off, push it back. You're not being obsessive, I promise. All of those details matter. Okay, I guess you are being obsessive, but it's a good obsessive. Usually we obsess over shapes before we need to do that, so that's what I mean when you're it's okay to be obsessive here. Okay, next thing, when you have chosen your brush for your color, you've got your gel. If your gel is not if you haven't used your gel in a while, I mean a very long while, like a couple months, or it just came from the warehouse, what you want to do is grab a little spatula like this. I like the smaller ones so that they don't pick up too much product. These are from Amazon. You can find them on my Amazon store. I'll link that down below. Take your spatula, twirl it just a couple times, and then just that's why I like a flat spatula too, because you can just wipe it off. And that's it. That's all the stirring that's required. These gels have great color suspension. Okay, and actually you wouldn't be able to tell if your bottle gel needs mixing because you can't see underneath there. So you would just have to kind of test it out, or stick a spatula tool in there also if you haven't used it in a while. But it's rare. It's not a detriment if you do not stir it that way. Okay, we're gonna grab gel on one side of our brush like so. And depending on the nail, you have to gauge how much gel do you need. So I'm doing my thumb for you guys. I will need a little bit more gel, okay? So I'm gonna start there. And one thing that you wanna do so that you make sure that your cuticle area is nice and thin is to drop your bead of gel away from the cuticle area. It can be 2 millimeters away. It can be halfway point, okay? For me, I like 2 millimeters away. And then from here, I'm just gonna frame the sidewalls and the free edge, and to ensure there's color everywhere. I'm gonna comb it through now. As you can see, my sidewalls have gel. I'm gonna grab a little bit of gel up here, wherever I have a little excess. And I can also push up, create a little ledge there. Start framing the cuticle area by getting behind my cuticle, my color, my bead of color. Now, anytime you double tap on your color, you're thinning that color out. So just keep that in mind. When you double tap, you're adding and removing gel at the same time. So double tap, double tap. And so yes, it's thinning it also. Okay, get as close as you can without touching so that you don't have any spillage. Now, if this color layer is making you nervous, like, oh my gosh, like it's not full coverage. Well, first of all, this color is a translucent color. So my goal is just to frame it out nicely on the nail and make sure I have an even coat. Okay, now I want to show you this. You see how there's like a little bit of color saturation there and not, you just double tap, and stroke down to even it out. As you work on 5 nails, the color will self-level, so you won't have to worry about that. Now, if at any time you have a little bit of spillage, you would just come in with your tool, or I prefer a French cleaning brush, like so. You guys can also find this on my Amazon store. Get at least a 12, and that just means it'll be a little wider. But a 12, a 14, a 16, anyone will work. And then get a little alcohol on it, and then just wipe this area, or any area that has spillage. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cure that. Okay, so now it is time to go in with our second layer. So remember, with our first layer, our goal was to get close, to get somewhat of an even saturation of the color, and definitely avoid any cuticle contact. For me, I don't obsess about tucking my color right underneath the eponychium or even the lateral nail folds there, because as you push back, your skin is going to stay in place, and then it's going to fall down in about 30 minutes, definitely tomorrow. So it's actually, when it falls down, it's going to overlay your gel naturally. That's why I don't really get fixating on overdoing my eponychium or cuticle work. You don't have to. I mean, seriously, if I thought you had to for success, I would tell you. Okay, now I'm going to apply my color again over here. And it looks thick, but my brush, my high quality nylon bristle brush, is going to pull the color and thin it out and stretch it out. Okay, I want to get on that side wall. Same thing here. Push, hold back your skin, right? That lateral nail fold. And pull it through. Now get back in the cuticle area and get behind that color and step on that ledge. You can turn your brush over a little bit if you want to get even a little closer. And once you've framed that cuticle area how you want to, you are going to pull all of the color. Okay, so there. And now even all of it up. Float your brush on there. Again, you can come over again. Remember, when you double tap, you remove or you add color. Now, I just wanted to do that for you, just to show you, but you didn't have to do that. Your color can definitely apply really, really fast. For example, one of the reasons why I like my oval brush is because I can grab a dollop, I can frame that cuticle area. You see with my dollop, that doesn't make me nervous to put it up that high because of my high quality nylon bristle brush. Okay. Framed it, pulled it through. Here I want to be perfect on my side walls. I have a nice linear outline. You don't want a shaggy or a scraggly side wall. A nice linear outline there. All right, now I'm going to get right behind my color. Double tap and pull right behind my color. Double tap and pull. And so notice how, again, the roundness of my brush helped me outline that so much better, so much faster. For me, when I do a corner or a flat brush, let me show you that here. Meanwhile, notice my color is still wet. It's like self-leveling nicely. It'll be ready to cure as soon as we're done. I mean, it's been ready to cure. I've just been holding it off. So when I do my my flat brush. I'm gonna grab a dollop similarly like I did earlier, but notice it becomes for me a little harder to frame that cuticle area. I mean, you can, maybe I'm just being a baby, because I'm gonna use the dollop, the color dollop to frame, but sometimes it just makes me a little nervous. Again, maybe I'm being a baby because I'm handling it well now here. And now I'm using the corner of that brush to line that up. And you're using it like a liner almost, that corner. Stroke it down and use that to line up and get as close as you can. Make sure that there's a little border. There's a little border coming out of your brush or gel brush. And then just stroke it downward, comb it through. Then your cuticle area by stepping on it. You need to, so that there's no ledges. And that's it. I mean, see, maybe I was just being a little baby. And don't worry about one being more saturated than the other one, because you can always adjust that with your second layer. All right, after that, you would just apply top coat and be done. One last little tip. When you're trying to get to your sidewalls, yes, you can do most of the work by bringing your nice, thin, high quality brush through. But the other thing you can do is just grab a teeny tiny amount of color like so, and then just press it on the side and fill that side in like this, okay? Never neglect your sidewalls. So just review all of your sidewalls before you cure them. And if they need a little help, that's how you would come about them. All right, time for top coat. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video valuable, would you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up so that I may help more people? Do check out the description box below for any current resources and promo codes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.